Hi, how are you? Welcome. Hope you're having a great night tonight. And I hope you're ready to see some patriotic stuff because I've got it. So if you didn't know, we just had a patriotic lunch and we have a new color of the month. This is retro. We're going to use it tonight. As you can see, I've already started painting with it. So let's get moving, shall we? Keyword is freedom. It's already set up, ready to go. I think, yep, it is. Have to be sure sometimes. Here we go. All right. Okay, so I already started painting this bottom piece of my door hanger blue. I've got this little gnome hat right here with a star that needs to be painted. So I'm going to go ahead and do that retro. Also, I'm just using a little sponge. And because my paste is brand new, I'm dipping right into the jar. It's great consistency. You can wet your sponge a little bit to help. And I prefer to tap. Okay, I don't spread it with the sponge. Because these do kind of break apart a little bit. Hey Melanie, hi Joni, welcome ladies. How are you? So I just tap it. Okay. Tappy tappy. So you can comment freedom right here on this post to get all the supplies that I'm using and check out our new patriotic stuff that just launched. Grab it all. I hope you love it. There's some new surfaces. If y'all haven't seen the new star beaded frames, oh my gosh, I'm going to show you those later this week. So coming out for a bit and enjoy the show. All right. Hi, Joanne. I know, I didn't even, I didn't know what project I was going to do when I got dressed this morning, but it's perfect. All right, so close that up. I'm going to just set that over there for now. And then I have another couple of stars over here that I need to paint red. I have candy apple here. And again, I'm going to use another sponge. So basically, let me show you what I do. So I keep these sponges over here. This one's a used one, okay? I've used it at least once, maybe twice. I'm going to just take my scissors and trim off. I just let that dry, okay, so it's hard paint. Trim that off, throw the end away, and then I have a brand new sponge, okay? I do this like 3 times with all of these sponges. And again, this jar is brand new, so hopefully that will be good consistency. I did find a minute ago this works really well, taking the lid and just... Now, this only works on like really brand new paste, okay? If it's not brand new, I would definitely put it into a color tray or onto a plate or something, like a paper plate, and mix it with a little bit of water to get a good paint consistency. But because this is so new, it's working pretty darn well, okay? But once it starts to dry up even just a little bit, you're going to want to add water to get a thin enough consistency to make this work. But I just opened both of these jars today, so that works good. Now with this little star here, okay, so I have a couple more pieces I need to paint. I'm going to throw this over here, but I need to move my stuff around a little bit. So I'm going to just pick this up. I think it's actually dry. And take it off my tape, throw that tape away. And then I can move that over here. I'm going to dry this. Well, you know what? Here's what I'll do. Just clean up my area a little bit. And I already have my pieces that I'm going to paint white on a piece of tape up here. So I just transfer them down here. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky because this glass mat works great to paint on, okay? But whenever I first wipe it off, it'll be a little bit damp still for a second. And then my tape doesn't want to stick, so I want to dry it off really well. Hi, Mom. How are you? Okay, so I'm going to take that and just move it down here so we can see. Okay, now I need another clean one. So again, a used sponge. Just gonna cut off the end. Now I prefer, excuse me, my gosh, burping over here. I prefer a paintbrush for bigger stuff, so I already have some white paste here that I mixed with water. I'm going to use that for this beard right here. But I'll use my sponge for the smaller pieces because it just gets a cleaner paint job. I don't end up with paint and all the little cracks and crevices on these smaller pieces. I am going to need to do 2 coats here. All right. Hi, Callie. How are you? Welcome. Thanks for joining me tonight. You can comment freedom to get all the stuff to make this. And if you didn't know already, you are welcome to sign up as my Perks member. If you want to save 30% on all of your talk purchases, plus you get a $20 gift card every month to use towards chalk purchases. So not only do you save 30%, but you also get an extra little boost every month towards your stuff. Okay. Now the design dollars, which is product credit, only lasts for 30 days. So if you don't use it, you will lose it. So make sure that if you're already my Perks member or a Perks member at all, that you use your product credit, or else you can't stack it up. Okay. So it will go away if you don't use it. Now, I did just spray just a little bit of water in here to help this go on a little bit better. Now I'm gonna definitely probably want to do 2 coats here again. But we'll get started with one and then we'll come back for the second. Now I did pre-paint quite a bit of this, not this part, but a lot of this project, so that y'all didn't have to sit here and watch me paint backgrounds and stuff. And I made choices. Okay, so I thought I knew I wanted to do red, white, and blue here. Hi, Alma. I'm great. How are you doing? Yay, Stephanie. I wanted to do red, white, and blue, and then I realized that I was going to repeat blue on 2 parts of this round, and that my calculations were messed up. Okay, so I had to quickly pivot, which I'm glad I was able to, I guess. You'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second whenever we start to put this thing together. Hopefully, I think this project's going to come together really nicely. Hopefully it will. Okay. I think y'all are going to love this one. It is a gnome. I love gnomes. And I love door hangers, so it's just right up my alley. And I think probably a lot of your alleys too. Alright, now, that's all good and painted, I think. I'm pretty sure we're good here. So, again, I'm going to just pick this up and transfer it. And I'll put my color tray over there. I don't know if I'm going to still need white. Again, who knows what I'm going to do. Clean this up. I love this mat. It is so great. This glass mat is amazing. You can find it. Hi, Phyllis. Yes, I do. So all of this stuff I cut with my laser. And I buy my files from Etsy mostly. But I like to edit them a little bit to fit projects that I have an idea about. So this one I actually changed the size. And so this is a welcome round, okay? It actually comes with the word welcome. Okay, we're not going to use that tonight though. We're going to use a transfer. Hi Deborah, how are you? Alright. I just want to make sure this is totally dry before I go to pick it all up. Okay? Now, look how pretty that retro blue is. It is so gorgeous. So if you haven't gotten it yet, make sure that you grab it. You do have to place an order on my website totaling $75 or more before tax and shipping in order to be able to add it to the cart. It is $16, okay, plus tax. And I don't know how long it will last. So hopefully it will still be around if you're waiting. Stephanie, I hope you're able to grab it. Okay, sorry. had to, okay, so I pre-painted this. This is the back of the round. This is a 16-inch round. Whenever you comment the word freedom, you will get the link to get this for my Etsy shop. Okay? Sorry, my nose is itchy. Let's try. And so is that. Okay, this part is not dry. So this is the part that I was saying I made a choice. Okay? Went ahead and painted it black. Hopefully I'm not going to regret that choice. I'm going to just dry it really quick. And then I think I'm going to need to sand it down just a little bit. I use black velvet paste on this. The paste works great to paint with. And the round background I used, candy apple and bright white. It works amazing to paint. Hi, Lisa. Alright. I think that's good. Okay, so this is a 220 grit sandpaper, sanding block. And I'm just lightly sanding with this, okay? Just a little bit, just to like even out any burrs from the paint. And then, y'all, I don't know about you, but anything that's dry, like sandpaper dust, it just gives me the heebie-jeebies, okay? My skin is really dry, naturally. And I can't. I gotta have lotion like 24/7. Having that dust on my hands just now was just like not giving me a good feeling, okay? I didn't like it. Now, we're going to start putting this thing together, and we'll use Stick Fast. Okay, this is also on my Amazon. Had a big old string coming off of it. And we're also going to use hot glue, okay? This stuff works incredibly. It is so sticky. Don't stick your hands together, okay? Or your fingers are... Generally, on most of my projects, I stick something to me at least once on every live. Also, make sure that you're in a well-ventilated space. It is kind of fumy. Now, we're going to set this on here. I used both the Stick Fast and hot glue. Hot glue to get an immediate hold. Stick Fast to hold really strong forever. Okay? So, just press that down. Alright, so the other thing I like to do is kind of put things down before I glue everything, just to make sure that I'm good. Because I'm always afraid that I'm going to glue something in the wrong place. It's pretty typical behavior of me to misglue something, put things together wrong. Y'all, anytime I have to put furniture together, it's terrible, okay? Yesterday evening, I put together, or partially put together, a dresser that I had bought. And thank God Chris came along and finished it for me, because I was certain that I was going to do something incorrectly there. I didn't. Surprise, surprise, I know. But it was incoming, okay? Definitely, it was bound to happen. I've put whole shelves together backwards, and then had to like undo it all and what a pain, okay? What a giant pain. So, okay. That needs to be dried a little bit more. Okay, here we go. There we go. His little nose. So I do want to add, I have some, let's see. I have some blush here we're going to use on his nose here in just a minute. This little piece, by the way, is his hand holding a little, I don't know what you would call this little star thing, okay? Now I'm going to set this on here. It's not going to set up very good until we glue it, but it'll be fine for now, okay? And then, y'all, this is so cute. Oh my gosh, I love it. That's going to be kind of difficult to glue together, but we're going to make it work, okay? And then all these little stars, all of this stuff is scored, okay, except for that big star. I should have scored it. I didn't, but that way you know where everything goes. Okay, so it's no mystery. Oh, I'm missing a star. Did y'all see that look of confusion on my face? Like, ooh, where did it go? Okay, so we've got all that good. Now, I'm going to just start gluing a little at a time, okay? Where's my stick fast? So, for these little stars, we're going to use stick fast and no hot glue, okay? But it holds really well, and it's great for little pieces. Hot glue is just kind of bulky, especially on small stuff. Really not great for little things. All right. Oh gosh. Sliding it around. Isn't it so cute? Yeah, so I think the key was that I was using the drill and he came along and he's like, do you need help with that? I didn't, but sure. Please, take over. I do not want to be here doing this right now. Putting that dresser together. That was the last thing I wanted to do yesterday. So that worked out great for me. Really pleased to have him step in. Okay, I'm going to set this to the side just for a second. Put his beard down. Now again, I'm going to use a little bit of stick fast. Now this whole thing isn't going to stick to the board. So I'm just going to put glue. You know, I should have done this other piece first. I don't know why I didn't, but here I am. I forgot about this piece. Y'all, I'm doing it backwards. That's my problem. Okay? So, again, very small pieces here. Highly recommend that you do not use hot glue on this. I'm not even going to glue, like, every line, I don't think. But, yeah, so, I have put stuff together wrong so many times that I like to lay everything out. And I don't know why I didn't put this on here first, but we're here now, okay? We're going to make it through this together. You guys are my support system. Thanks for joining me. Okay? I sure appreciate it. Now, I screwed up, okay, obviously. It is obvious to me now that this is a mess, but that's okay. We're going to put this piece on first, okay? Don't do like I did. It worked out, all right? But I'm a dodo head sometimes, okay? I don't know. And now I've got, see, I told you I was going to glue myself to something today, and that was it. Just now. All right. Again, this hat's not going to be entirely touching the board. That's okay. All right, now for the start. This is going to be a difficult one, okay? So I'm going to do this outer star first so that I know where the little stars on the inside of it go. Hopefully this is going to work out. Line that up in the center. Then our blue one. And then the red one in the center, okay? Yeah, I have not heard about any tornadoes, so hopefully I'm safe too. Y'all, we haven't been having some crazy weather around here, though. We did have a hailstorm, last week? And my poor car got really beat up. So it is now living in the garage full time. Unless if I'm driving it out in the world. Okay. There we go. There's our star. And then his little hand thing. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but... Okay. Snap that right in there. Alright, there we go. Now, his nose. And I do want to add a little bit of that blush for his nose. So stick that on there just like that. And then I have this blush. It's just some old blush that I used to love. And one of these little like dauber things. I don't even know what to call this. But just so his nose isn't bright white, okay? It was bright white. Now it's got a little pink tinge, okay? Cute! Alright, now for the transfer. So this is the transfer. It's, this is Fireworks Show, okay? This is going to go right over here. And it's going to fit just perfect. I'm excited about it. Okay, so, you know what? I am going to cut this, though. I'm not going to cut the backer sheet, but I'm going to just cut this. Now, this is meant for the coaster set, okay? If you haven't gotten yourself the coaster set, it's super cute and a fun project to do. We're not going to use the coaster part, but I mean, the fireworks are pretty neat. So you could use those for anything. But that's why I cut that apart. And then I do want to fuzz this, but I'm going to pull this off of here first to get this transfer out of the way, the backer. Okay, and then I'll just set that there. Now, I am going to wax really quickly. So this is surface wax. Hey, Michelle, how are you, love? A bingo marker, is that what that is? Oh my gosh, I had no idea. One of my friends recommended it. I saw her using them on a live one time, and I'm like, excuse me, where did you get that? So I started buying them. Isn't it super cute? I think so too. Thank you. I'm glad you noticed. All right. So that's waxed. Now we're going to fuzz this a couple of times. And like I said, I painted this with black velvet. And hopefully I'm not going to regret that choice. Now, I really hope I'm not going to regret putting that star down first, but I might. Hold on. I'm about to cut this. I'm not going to have to, but I really want to, okay? It's just slightly too long, too, so that's aggravating, but we're going to make it work. Oh, goodness. All right, we're going to go down just a little bit. That's okay. All right. Now, I'm going to have to work around my star. Now, when you do this, I would like for you to please put down your words first. But I was a little afraid. Because I didn't want to... There. I didn't want to, like, put down the words and then cover it up somehow. So, that's why I've done this way. But that's my mistake. Once again... Not thinking things through. Okay, so there's that. We're going to put freedom on here. And here's what I was thinking. Okay. I have bright white. Look how pretty this retro is. And candy apple and retro here. Okay. Hey, Donna. How are you, love? All right, now I have 3 stir sticks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just dot a little bit of each color for, that's right, a hot mess, my friends. Okay, my favorite kind of design that is no fuss. It turns into what it turns into. Okay, there's really not a lot of brain power needed for this design. Okay, which is exactly what I need after a long day. Okay, and then bright white also. I'm gonna just dot a little bit around. Okay, like that. Now, one squeegee is all you need here. All right, now we're going to go and try not to mix this up too much because we don't want to make purple. Even though purple is my favorite color, okay, we still want to be able to see red, white, and blue. So, try and not blend it up too much. But hopefully this is going to turn into a really cool looking red, white, and blue design. I'm just making sure that I got the whole word here. That does look pretty cool. Okay, so throw that in my little dilly over there and put my lid back on all of these because they're all brand new and precious and beautiful. Look how gorgeous that is. I didn't expect this blue color to be so bright. But here we are. All right, so I did have a little bit of peeling here on the black background, okay? Now I can touch it up, and I probably will do that with a little bit of black velvet paste, okay? Let me dry this really quick, and then we'll touch that up. Isn't it so cute? I think so too. I think it turned out pretty darn good. So I'm pleased with it. I also have a white paint pen. So do better than me on waxing and on fuzzing or transfer, okay? A brand new transfer is going to cause you problems. If you don't fuzz it enough, okay? Now, I can also hit this with a sanding block, like a higher grit or lower grit. Ooh, that's a good idea. We will do that, actually. Thank you for the suggestion. We'll do that too, Deborah, and that will help me not look like I've completely screwed the pooch here, okay? Great suggestion. So there are all of these fireworks bursts, and that's a great idea. So let's cut them out. They're pretty too. Oh gosh. You know, I'm glad that y'all are here because I wouldn't have half these ideas without you. So thanks for that. Let's start with this one. And again, we're going to fuzz it really well. Okay? I have my fuzzing cloth here. We'll use bright white for the first one. Great suggestion. Thank you for that. Oops. Went over the edge a little. All right. Oh yeah, I love it. That's so pretty. All right, and then I have this other one. Let me see if I cut it already. There's a couple of them on here that I cannot pass up. Ooh. I'm gonna struggle this. There. All right, and then there we go. Here we go. All right. It's pretty, right? And I think we might even be able to do Maybe one up there. Maybe. I don't know if I want to do too much. But I definitely want to do the most down here. Okay. And of course, I got to use retro again because this color is too pretty. So make sure that you order it. If you comment Freedom, you'll get the link. You can place your order. And if you're a Perks member, just sign in. You'll see your discounted price. If you're not a Perks member yet, you're welcome to sign up with me. If you want to save even more, you can sign up as a designer. Don't have to sell anything and get 40% off, okay? And I would love to have you. Whether you want to sell something or not, you don't have to. All right. Ugh. All right, so this spot down here is a problem area. Definitely for sure, but that's okay. It'll be fine. All right, we will survive this together. Now, there's one more that I kind of want to use, but you know what? I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to do anything on the red. I'm going to just leave it as is because I feel like whenever I feel like I need to do more, I do more and then it's too much. So I'm going to tone it down and not do the most tonight. And maybe tomorrow we can do more of the most kind of things that I like to do. Now, I've got my big Jeep here that I love so much. And I'm just going to tie this back here. Yeah, I agree. And then, obviously, these holes are way too big. So, we're going to have to fix that up a little bit. Okay, so what I like to do, I am tying a knot for some reason that I can't figure out, okay? But I have this ribbon here that works great for the situations. And I never did use any of this ribbon for any other projects other than just taping it or using it to hold my string on door hangers. So I like to just put it on the back like this and then put a little bit of glue, okay? So that's what we'll do. Let me dry this real quick so I can flip it. And then we'll do that and be done. So make sure that you comment Freedom. Get the link to get all this stuff. But look how stinking cute that gnome is with his little pink nose. He's adorable. Okay, now I'm going to just take some hot glue. And on both sides of that, just put a glob, okay? And then our little makeshift ribbon holder thing. Darn it. Here we go. Hi, Laura. Oh. Yeah, that's a good idea. Although, I have already passed up that issue, but I haven't had much problem in the past with this holding, so I think it should be okay, hopefully. All right. But you could always tie them together, okay? Now, there's Dozer. Say hi to him. Check out how cute this little guy turned out. I mean, pretty darn cute. His little nose is pink. Sorry, trying to show it to you. And we do have a little bit of an issue right here, but I don't think that's really that big of a deal. Okay, just wax a little bit better than I did and fuzz better. But let me know what you think. Comment Freedom to get all the goodies to make this. And I love you all so much. Have a good night.